Boston Celtics. When everybody says they can't, they can. They're one win away from the finals. They might have to at least try and do it on the road to avoid a Game 7. We bring you in. We'll hear from both sides. All the coverage here on Game Time. Casey Stern, Steve Smith, David Griffin. Guys, this was a battle of one team coming in with all the momentum, but then another team, Smitty, remembering, oh, wait a minute, we like this building. And it was again home where the heart was tonight for the Celtics.
Yeah, the Celtics are saying, hey, y'all keep talking about the road. All we have to do is win at home. And one thing I loved about those guys, they came out, they pushed the pace. And as you can see, fast break points, a plus 16, 18-2. I thought the Cleveland Cavaliers looked sluggish, Griff and Casey, and I thought LeBron James looked a little tired tonight, and you can tell they took advantage of that.
Yeah, hands on the knees. We saw heavy breathing, asked to come out not once but twice. You know, you don't know if anything's wrong, but does anything have to be? I mean, he's carried such a load. We're talking about a guy in his 15th year, playing all those minutes, and I know how much time, Griffin, you know more than anybody, puts into his body, but still, he is human.
Yeah, and he's 33 years old and human as well, and I think at times like these, you start to see without the extra days off where he can really get fresh. He is carrying an enormous burden, and I think it showed tonight at several points in the game. You know, remember, he's been going through this whole playoff run without a second primary ball handler to get them shots. You know, George Hill has been in and out with injury. He's not a guy who's really going to go create shots. So he's really been trying to do this as the only facilitating offensive weapon, and it obviously showed tonight. But Boston's the reason why. Look at the number of big athletic wings that they can throw at him. None of them can stop them by himself, but in attrition, they're going to wear him down over time. If you thought Boston was going to absolutely take Cleveland to the woodshed while shooting 36.5%, you win tonight.
Right.
Because I certainly didn't see that coming.
When the trade was made, and we were sitting here, all of us, talking about how they got younger, they got more athletic. Still, for most of the night, it was Kyle, who's certainly running around plenty, but Jeff Green was on the floor, George Hill was on. There was age seemingly, Smitty, in most of the spots, and you watch Jaylen Brown and Tatum and Rozier get the balls first, get down the court first, and it was a problem throughout the course of the night.
Yeah, it is, and I think also, you know, Griff pointed out, we were looking at the stat sheet, the turnovers from the Cavs. When you're on the road and obviously playing against a young team, you don't want to turn it over. You want them to have to run their offense, and obviously for them, just don't give them easy buckets. I think for the Cavs right now is you got to look at how, and I think T. Lue is searching on who can I trust.
Right.
I know I'm going to trust my older guys because I've been there, but who is one of those young guys that come in and can consistently play? I thought Clarkson and also Larry Nance played better, but can he really count on a lot of these young guys?
You know, it's hard not to go to Marcus Smart again, and I feel like a broken record. We talked about this in pregame for those who missed it. I asked you, Griff, how do we get the guy that you broke down after Game 2 back? 13 points, 5 of 9, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. No turnovers, and he was sloppy with the ball a little bit in Game 4. And as we were joking when we came on, not mentioned in the defense, player of the year category, but this is a guy who certainly has put it up in the home games in this series.
Well, his defensive player of the year candidacy for next year got off to a flying start tonight. No, I think Marcus is a guy who has a chip on his shoulder with that. There's no doubt in my mind that he knew he wasn't on an all-defensive team, and I think he probably has some pride about that. He was terrific tonight. He typically is terrific defensively, but I think the bigger issue is none of the Cavs really rose to that level of urgency tonight, so it gave Marcus an even bigger advantage. Ordinarily, he's going to be playing harder than you are, even if you do rise to the occasion, but tonight I didn't see any of the role-playing Cavs really come along for the ride in that regard. And to the point you made earlier, Casey, about the athleticism, if you're going to get younger and more athletic, it's times like these, you got to try it. Now, I've lost my coaching rotation card because I said that we needed to play Tristan all night long tonight in Cleveland, and he wasn't terribly effective either. Yeah. But at some point, you've got to try to put some energy onto the floor and see what it looks like. And unfortunately, again, Marcus Smart and many other Celtics, if you list them all on A through Z energy level, many Celtics are at the top of that list.
And Cedi Osman is one of these guys who we saw a lot of times during the year, maybe not a household name, a lot of energy. You know, Hood came in late, was 2 or 3. I understand what's gone on with him, but somewhere you got to get it. And we need to get to the elephant in the room, and that is the fact that Kyle Korver has got to start. J.R. Smith in this game was not good. I mean, you could argue he was the worst player on the floor, and